Like always, click, like, and subscribe.
Life can be beautiful if you let it.
In the bowl.
Yo, what do you know? Welcome to In the Bowl Podcast. As always, shout out to Hustle 5 Ways for hosting us. I'm your host, Naz.
You got Tallman.
And like always, In the Bowl Podcast is powered by your nation's own Hookah mobile provider, where they not only provide experience for events, wholesale distribution, but teach you just how to elevate your time with that hookah. What's going on?
Man, not too much, man. What's going on with you?
Busy week, man. But it's good, man. It's I've been thinking about our past episodes and just thinking about how it's been resonating with me of just thinking about journeys and stuff like that, right? And make me start thinking like, what's the difference between life and, just living to live, or not living to live, but you know what I'm saying? Like, the difference between life and just living to exist, right? And so it just kind of makes you just, so it's been a productive week. It's been a busy week, but it's been a good week, man. What's up with you?
That's what's up, man. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that your lighting looks totally different this week, man. I mean, did you do something different over there? I mean, what's going on?
I elevated the studio over here, so I can't give all my secrets out, but you're a funny guy though, so it's over here had to up the studio over here, put some little extra props in there to give me a little bit more light.
I see, man, and I say this as the straightest heterosexual guy, but there's sort of a twinkle in your eye, man. I see the difference in you,
Since we're gonna go down that road, yes, I have invested in a couple ring lights for lighting purposes, and it's one of my many secrets, But like I say, I live in my truth, right? I guess.
Hey, it's all good, man. You are on the road to influencer status, man. I like it. I like it.
Hey, man, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, man. Step out the norm, right? You got to make yourself uncomfortable sometimes.
Exactly, man. But, all's good on this side, man. I'm not going to give my local weather forecast this week because not too much is changed on this side, but all is well, man. But last weekend was cool, man. Had a little taste of home. Went on a reggae boat fest, all white party. So that was solid, man. It was all inclusive, so it had the food, had the beverages, had the music. It was a good time. It was a good time. Definitely, I would say for that 3 hour window, did not feel like I was the Middle East. Felt
That's
like,
what's up.
it was the middle of carnival, cruising around somewhere. But that was a good experience, though, man. Good times, good times.
That's dope. So how is like try to get out there? How is the cuisine? Is the food solid? That's the first thing people talk about.
Yeah, man. It's like it's almost like being back in the DMV. As we have all kind of food options. So it's like whatever you have a taste for. I mean, you can definitely get it. Whether you want Ethiopian food, Indian food, local food, you want American food, Thai food, everything that's here. So Friday night, I actually went out to this Jamaican spot. Because we found two of them out here. So went out there, checked them out. They had red stripes. So I was very ecstatic about that. First red stripe in 90 days.
There you go.
Gotcha. So I was sipping it slowly like it was the finest of rums or the finest of scotches.
There you
You know,
go.
people were probably looking at me like, "What's wrong with this dude?" But you know, you just had to savor the taste and take it all in. You know, didn't need to
Yeah,
chug it.
you gotta get your fix. You gotta get your fix.
Exactly, exactly. You know, the food was good. You know, had some curry goat. So I was like, all right,
That's
you know,
dope.
I, I can rock with this. I can rock with this. So definitely, be going back and check them out. And met the head chef. Hung out with him. Cool dude. And invited me over to the weekly game of dominoes. So I was like,
Okay.
all right. A lot of trash being talked already. We ain't set the table up, but I'm like, you know what? I'm here for it.
There you go. There you go. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's definitely what's up, man. It's always good, like you say, get a little taste at home. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's what's up. But like always, we gotta cheers to that. Taste at home. Another episode, another day, another week,
You know it.
another opportunity.
Yes, sir. Well, without wasting too much time, man, let's just go ahead and jump right into the slap heard around the world. Literally.
Yeah. Facts. 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 Yeah, I know that's a big topic, man. That thing is wild. It makes you think about it on so many different levels.
Exactly, because I woke up and it's Monday morning, so it was early here, and at first, I started seeing the clip. I was just scrolling through social media, and I'm like, this is probably, something staged, for the Oscars. They got a little skit going. But then I
Yeah.
heard the uncut, unedited version, and I was
Yeah.
like, nah. This dude had a, a chip on his shoulder for real. And I started playing
Yeah.
it back and was like, this is wild. Because that's something you wouldn't expect, out of Will Smith. If it was anybody else, I wouldn't expect it from Will, Denzel, but Will Smith, that was
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
tough one.
Yeah. But that's where it goes back to. You never know what people are going through, right? And that's why I say, you think about it on so many different levels of like, it was, one, I think that, with that mixed feeling of a part of it is, you're in that light, you're going to be scrutinized for every little thing you do, and you're going to go on national TV, you're just going to show more violence, what I'm saying, between us, right?
Yeah,
And being a father, being a husband, being a leader of a family, being a leader in the community, having certain values that you continue to preach. When you talk about mental health, you talk about all that, and then you go on stage and you do that. But on the flip side, it also shows that we're human,
yeah,
right? It shows that you are a father. You may be to that caliber, but you're a father, you're a husband. What I'm saying, you're a leader in the community, but you're human first. And
yeah,
there's certain things that you have a passion for and you love for, and it goes back to emotional, passionate, sensitive. It just goes to so many levels, but then also goes whatever deep down just brewing inside of you. And there's been a lot of comments, and I think
for
it was,
years.
yeah, for years, right? I think it's I think Nicki Minaj kind of she put a tweet out there, a quote out there. It's like this man had a front row seat of the pain that his wife was going through. Whether they had entanglements or whatever, there's still a love and there's a passion there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So um, being that connected to someone who just went through something, and you see someone else make light of it, not knowing of how serious it could, really it is behind the scenes. It's I mean, I think anyone, is capable of doing that. That's why people always ask me questions like, all right, what would you do if, you walked in and you saw such and such, right?
yeah,
I don't know. Right now I'm cool. So right now I'll just be like, all right, now I'm fucking, I'm chilling, It's been real kind of situation. But in that
yeah.
moment, like they say, man, things happen when you get emotions or passion or whatever you involved and you get out of body experiences. So it's hard for me to judge that man on that one, and I'm just, it's wild.
Well, I'm with you. I'm definitely not judging, his actions or his reaction, but I do want to judge the man's form because since they showed this slap like 75 times, I've had enough time to sit back and actually critique it. And when I first saw it, I thought it was just like some bad acting, like the low budget movies, when someone's throwing a punch, it's like, huh, and making all
Yeah.
these noises and the person is moving around. And I thought it was like that because we don't know, Will Smith to be a athlete in the sense of, hey, he used to play ball or anything like that. But I mean, he has been in some action, movies, and I would think that after all of that time spent, developing his craft, that he would have had a much better wind up and connect, to land something. And then I will also say that Chris Rock took that smack like a G.
Yeah, you got a chin. You got a chin. You got a chin.
Exactly, because he took it and he was like, "Wow, this dude really just slapped me." And I really, gotta respect, the way he handled himself because
Yeah.
that really could have gone left.
Yeah, no, true.
It could have gone farther left
Fact,
because it went left.
fact. It went left real quick, right? And like you said, it could have went further. But like you say, it's one of those things where I don't know. I think if just think about it. If a man walked up to you and slapped you, not hit you, but slapped you, you know what I'm saying? I think it takes a minute for you to process that of like, hold on, this motherfucker just slapped me. Did I just get slapped? You know what I'm saying? So it's I can see where you can kind of be stunned, but like you said, I do tip my hat off, for just how he took it, and he was just like, we'll deal with this later, because I think I caught it right when Diddy came out. I was like, yeah, Will and Chris handled it backstage, and then there's talk or whatever, but yeah, it took yeah, man, that takes a lot of strength to sit there and again not to react, right?
Yeah,
And that's a lot, and it's crazy how on one end, one reacted from words, and what was being said, and then the other, did not react off the physicalness, right? So, yeah, man, it's wild. It's wild.
yeah. Because I mean, when you look at like the list, the hierarchy of like most disrespectful things, a slap is definitely like number two
Yeah,
because three, and then this is a very close list, so I don't want you to think that it's a large gap between, but three, I mean, getting punched in the face comes in third. Being slapped is definitely number two.
yeah,
Being spit on is number one because that's the ultimate
yeah.
disrespect. Somebody spits on you, then I don't condone violence, but if you react a certain way, I totally get it. I totally get it. Because back in the day, we used to talk about the Percy Pimp Smack, which is a combination of number two and number one. It's when somebody licks the back of their hand and then smacks you. Because now you're getting a combination of the top two disrespectful things that you can do to a person all in one shot, but
Yeah, man. I don't know how I'd feel if I got smacked, right? And I think that's a tough list, right? Of what you think is disrespectful, right? I think it's you got spitting on, you got being slapped, you got being punched, you got what I'm saying. And I don't know if you want to go to physical, yeah, I think those are definitely those top three. You know what I'm saying? Or remember back in the day when folks was in school and they were like mines and they would lick their finger and put their finger in your food. You know what I'm saying? Like that's some disrespectful shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when unfortunately it's like, well, whatever these consequences are, whatever this bet I'm just making, it is what it is. I'm making it comfortable. It is happening.
exactly,
And I'm here now.
exactly.
And you can't be mad at that. I'm here now. So it is what it is. I'll
And,
take it.
and I gotta say, man, the internet is still undefeated because the memes were on deck. I mean, the memes were ready. They're still coming strong. Pause. But
Yeah.
it's but it's they were ready for it, man. The internet is undefeated, man. It's like
Yeah.
nobody can escape the wrath of the internet because they had the memes of the folks' reactions in the crowd. They had the slap, the afterwards. It was just like any and every angle of this whole situation was addressed by the memes within like hours.
Yeah. Yeah. People are quick, and it's wild too. Like the click of a button with this social media, man, you can reach folks quick. The masses. And it's
Exactly.
I mean, it was ready with it. It's like someone had it in draft mode, like someone knew it was about to happen. Like it's crazy of how fast
Yeah.
that stuff happens.
And I'm like, man, who has this kind of time to just be on it like that? Because that, like I said, man, it was instantaneous. It was
Yeah,
slap
man.
me,
Yeah.
all
Fact.
all in
Fact.
one shot. And I mean, the whole situation, underscores, which was a big moment, in his life because like two presentations later, give or take, the man won, the Oscar for, playing, in King Richard, Venus and
Yeah.
Serena, their pops. So I'm like,
But
man, you're always gonna be remembered, for the first time you won for the incident. The incident is gonna outweigh the fact that he won that Oscar, which was his first Oscar.
that's sad,
Believe it or not.
man. Yeah, that's sad. That sucks. You know what I'm saying? It's sad
Yeah.
that's what we're gonna remember it by, right? I think it's sad that someone can do a million things right, what I'm saying, and remember that one bad thing that they did. I think this man has done a lot in his career, you know. He had a lot of highs, he had some lows, He's human, right? But
Yeah.
then if you think about it, like he got it for King Richard, right? And that's ironic, right? In the sense that if you've seen the movie, spoiler alert if you haven't, he's willing to sacrifice his body, his life to defend his daughters. He may have pushed them, and some people may think it was, conventional, whatever it may have been, but some may say he was a little aggressive, but he had a vision for him, right? And he was willing to fight for that vision, right? And he
Yeah.
kept on, but at the end of the day, even that one part, he was about to go do something that's going to change the family dynamic for the rest of their life. But divine intervention stopped that, you know. Um, and then even after that, you know what I'm saying? Like the folks, they respected him because they seen the fire inside and, just how willing he was to defend his family. And ironically, that's what he was doing. He was defending his wife. So it's
Yeah.
kind of plays hand in hand if you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, and I may catch a little flack behind this, but when he got up to give his acceptance speech and he used the quote, about, protector and defender of the family and had the tears. I had to take it with a grain of salt because, I understand, how hurt, this man was. I saw the pep talk that was given to him by Denzel and Tyler Perry. But I had to step back and I had to say, all right, is this a sincere apology or did you just flip that switch and become in acting mode because the tears were flowing, and I know it was an emotional situation for him on both ends because in one breath, you know somebody that tells a joke about your wife that has a medical condition, you chuckle, you look over, she's rolling her eyes, and it's like, all right, now I got to address this, so you got those feelings and emotions. And
Yeah,
then on the flip side, you got that you just won, your first Oscar after you've been a, a box office actor, for the man had a good run. Because I remember every summer there was some movie coming out with Will Smith in it.
yeah,
And that movie always, did numbers. And for you to have that catalog of work out there, and not be recognized, as, best actor and things of that nature. I understand, how those emotions and feelings can overcome you, but I really just had to sit back and just like, are you acting or is this really you? So that was just me, looking at it first, but I know now a couple of days have gone by, things have set in, so at this point, it kind of is what it is.
Yeah, but it makes you think. Did he apologize for putting his hands on him, or because honestly, I don't even know if I really remember seeing an apology. I think it was more of like it's kind of like an apology more to like the fans. You know what I'm saying of the example that he showed, but
Exactly.
not so much the action. And I think that's a real statement because I think I think that speaks volume because I think that some people can be offended who you actually you know what I'm saying encountered with, but then it also I know there's times you may say something right and you may not be sorry for what you said, but you may be sorry for how you said it, right?
Yeah,
Because that's how you felt. So it's
exactly.
you can't sit there and say, "Oh, my fault." No, I didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? You said it. That's how you felt at that moment. It's also being able to control that, and that's where I think that if he did apologize, I mean that makes sense. But he was passionate. I mean, to do
Yeah.
all that just because you're temporarily mad, like come on, like like I said, you can't make a temporary decision off of, what I'm saying, that's going to have an everlasting impact.
No, I agree.
So this is going to impact them for, what I'm saying, some time. And they're going to remember this.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Folks ain't going to forget this. They're going to remember the Oscars on this, you know what I'm saying? And people now, unfortunately, we're going to watch it for more instances like this. You know what I'm saying? They're going to say, oh, what craziness is going to happen or whatever. But it's sad that, what I'm saying, that it had to get to that point. But at the end of the day, that's how that man felt. And you
yeah.
can't be mad at that. You can't. You don't know what that man was going through. And I'm not no,
Nah, nah.
therapist. I'm not even trying to get into that world. But we talk about it all the time. You never know what someone's going through.
Nah, man, not at all. It was definitely interesting, and I guess we'll see what comes about from it. Of course, they're reviewing it and trying to figure out how he should be addressed with his behavior, and they're looking at you know from a security aspect because it's like he was able to walk right up on the stage, and so I think from his actions, I think going forward, one, we're definitely not done with it. There's going to be more to it, more to the story. But two, I think there are going to be some changes in the way these award ceremonies are handled and addressed.
Yeah, yeah, nah, for real, for real. It's force. That's where we at right now. And unfortunately, it had to be us. I think that's the
Yeah,
saddest part. That's the saddest part. That's the part that I'm like, damn, man. You know what I'm saying? Why we have to do it? But that passion.
exactly, man. So what else you got over there?
That's for chilling, man. Like I said, just like you say, living to exist, or living. Which one is it, right?
Yeah,
What that means. So, I'm chilling right now. It's just, I think it's wild. Times is wild. Just figuring it out.
exactly. And the warm weather is just starting. So I mean, this is how spring is starting. I mean, we can only imagine, what the rest of summer 2022 has in store for us, man. I think it's going to be a wild summer.
Hey, every month we got something to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? Every month there's some wild shit going on, man. Whether it's we always got some source of entertainment, right? Some wild shit's going on in real life.
Exactly, and I know you had dropped the statement about what Blac Chyna did, her actions. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, like I said, like what we out here doing, right? It's you gonna put a comment on social media, right? And then you're not gonna again you make your bed, you know, you gotta lay in it, right?
Yeah,
So I'm not gonna lie, I don't think it had to get that far, but I fucks with what Tiger and Rob did, man. I think it made sense. It's like, what are you talking about? And They say that child support thing, that world is wild. It's real, right? And people go through it every day, but you can't sit there and make that statement and someone not defend themselves. You know what I'm saying? And say, "What are you talking
Yeah,
about? Like I give you this, and you got the kids 2 days a week. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, what are you talking about? I mean, sucks that the family's not together, but shit, like, what are you doing? Like, why would you even put that business out there? Knowing you got, you know what I'm saying, a baby father,
man.
the father of your child out here, you know what I'm saying, being supportive. So why would you even sit there and run some man's name through the, you know what I'm saying, through the mud? There's already enough stigma about, black men not being fathers,
Yeah,
So Tiger's out here being a father, or just, or kids not having fathers, you know what I'm saying? And
exactly.
when you got both of your fathers of your kids, you know what I'm saying, heavily involved in what they would do sponsoring, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? They taking care of their kids. Sad, man. What do you think about it?
Well, one, I think it's a case of oversharing on social media. It's like, why do we
Yes,
need
sir.
to know that, who are you doing this, for? And then it goes back to, a couple of episodes ago when we were talking about, breakups and, how people can be. And, I think a lot of these actions are coming from, individuals that are scorned, and they feel a certain way, about the situation. And they feel like by putting, someone else on blast, that it is somehow, tearing that person down and lifting themselves up. Which I'm like, at the end of the day, yeah, you put your business out there for the world to comment on, even though the world needs not to comment on it. And it's like the situation is still the situation. So it's like, has anything changed in the situation? So if anything, it makes the situation worse because now, whatever drama and uneasiness, that existed between, the two individuals, doing things like that only makes it more challenging and more difficult because at the end of the day, the kid comes first,
Yeah.
and you have to reach a certain point in which the two of you all can kind of set your differences aside for the betterment of the child, because the child needs both of you all, and that friction just pulls both of them further apart, and who suffers at the end of the day? The child suffers.
Yeah.
And then now that we are in this internet age where nothing dies and lives on forever, again, 5, 10 years from now, the kids gonna see this,
Yeah.
and now it's like you're reopening that wound and doing that all over again. So I definitely don't condone the oversharing, but again, it's three sides to every story, man. It's her side, his side, and somewhere a combination of those two is the truth. And
Wow.
I hope they get to that point where they can, put the child first and move on. It does take some time. It's not an overnight thing, but
Yeah, but this
man,
shit
we don't want to
old,
be all
man.
with
I
it.
mean, this
Exactly.
shit, this shit old. I mean, they ain't been together for some years now, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we still talking about? I'm confused. Like, why would you even put that out there? And I think just, me just being a black man, a father, you know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of hits to the core, right? That kind of hits home. Like,
Yeah.
we just, I'm not saying not home, but, you know what I'm saying? Hits to the core to where it's like, I may not be able to actually relate because I haven't been in that situation, right? But just trying to even imagine again, how would I react? How would I feel if someone said that I'm not doing something that I know damn well I am doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, that's a mean gut shot right there.
Exactly. Man. Attacking people's character, man. But unfortunately, man, this is the day in the world we live in, man. Where, what used to be, conversations between, a handful of people are now, conversations between the masses, because now, everybody is weighing in with their opinions. But I don't know, man. Hey, hope for the best. You know,
There you go.
that's all I got, man.
There you go. There you go.
That's all I got. But I did see something else that was pretty wild. I heard that Denny's is offering $6.99, all you can eat breakfast, which I think is pretty wild because one, historically I got beef with Denny's. I mean, back in the '90s, Denny's was pretty shady to people of color,
Yeah.
to where multiple class action lawsuits were filed against them and they had to settle. And this was in the '90s, and most recently, they were sued again because they weren't paying their folks. They got another class action suit for wages. And then back in the day, I want to say that they were one of the last breakfast spots. It was them and somebody else, and we'll let them remain nameless because they're not in the news. They did not have turkey products.
Yeah.
When turkey sausage and turkey bacon started making this run, they was some last. So I was like, Denny's ain't really for me. But then Denny's came out, and their reason for doing this also sounded like a marketing ploy, where it was like, hey, we understand things are tough right now, so we're trying to develop something where folks can stretch their dollars. And I was like, all right, so that's the playbook we're using. Because in the '90s, when they started, getting all the bad press, they started teaming up with different charities, to give the perception of, hey, we've changed and we're doing things differently. And it just feels like once again, it's like they're not being totally honest with us. They're kind of up to something shady. And needless to say, Tallman will not be indulging in any $6.99 all you can eat breakfasts at Denny's. But
So which one would you go with? Would you go with Waffle House or well, you ain't going to Denny's? Or would you go with the other one?
I mean, Waffle House still is that staple, because that waffle. I don't know what they do in that waffle batter, but the way that waffle comes out every time, I have never had a bad waffle at Waffle House.
Good.
The hash browns, diced and sliced and this and that, and you add a little bit of hot sauce and pepper sauce on there, man. You got yourself an award-winning meal for like $10.
Man, because it's probably got the same seasoning from when that Waffle House probably just opened. You know what I'm saying? Like it's probably collected a few seasonings over the years. No disrespect to Waffle House, you know what I'm saying? But it's probably got the same seasoning from the first waffle ever made. You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of what makes Waffle House what it is. Like, you know what you're gonna get. They're gonna use the same waffle maker they had from day one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they came up with something, and they stuck to the blueprint. Over the course of years, they didn't try to change too much. They kind of stayed in their lane, man. It's like a lot of other fast food places, like they were selling, I don't know, let's say, they were known for chicken. Now they're doing salads and, just being creative. It's like, no, you are known for this. This is what you rock with. Don't sit here and try to diversify your menu so much that you lose,
Yeah.
what you're known for.
Facts. When you try to do too much, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna, slack in some other places. So stick in your lane, stay in your lane.
Exactly. And just ride things out, man. But yeah, definitely Waffle House. That's one of the go-tos. And speaking of breakfast spots, so remember in downtown Silver Spring we had Expectations, right?
Yeah.
And during COVID, Expectation had closed down. So I was like, man, that used to be my go-to spot. Even when
Yeah.
I didn't take the drive to go over there, hop on the app and order it. Man, I found the Expectation in Dubai.
Oh shit.
Yes, and they did not let me down. They are right by the beach, right by the water. The food was, phenomenal. I was like, man, this is perfect, because two things that I used to love about eating back home was Vapianos and expectation.
Yeah.
And out here in Dubai, we have Vapianos and we have expectation, man.
It seemed like an easy adjustment out there.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I mean, it's still it takes some getting used to, but like I said, I mean, for foodies, it's like anything that you want, you can definitely run across it here, and eating locally, you know, the price points are phenomenal. When
Yeah.
you're going somewhere and you're getting, like a full lunch, a three-course lunch and a hookah, for $25. I mean, you can't beat that. It's like they're
Yeah.
just throwing the hookah in, and you're walking away full. So it's not like you're out here just eating finger foods. I'm talking about you getting a full meal. You're getting a soup. You're getting a salad. You're getting an
Yeah.
entree.
Yeah.
And a hookah and a side of Turkish coffee. For $23, $25.
That's the price point. That's the price point. That's what's up.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I went to one place because I'm trying to get out to hit more of these hookah spots out here. And I went to one down by the beach. It was called like Smoky Beach. And looking at their menu was just like, wow, okay, what is the focus here? Is the focus the hookahs, or the focus, the mocktails, or the focus the food? I know, because they had sushi on the menu. Sushi looked good. They had salads coming out. I was like, man, this they had the salt and pepper calamari. I'm like, okay, okay. And then
Yeah.
the hookah was decent because again it gives you that nice beach vibe where you got the waves behind you and good food and good hookah. It's like man, that's a winning combination right there.
Yeah. You can't beat that. You can't beat that on the beach with a hookah. You chilling.
Nah, exactly.
Yeah. You cool.
And it's
That's what's up.
90 degrees in the shade. I'm like, oh man, this is a win-win right here.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Like you say, man, it's like you said, it's that element, right? It's that it's the whole vibe right there. That's what's up.
Then you got folks in the background because it's a parachuting company. I forgot what they're called, but they're like right by the beach. So you're sitting there, enjoying your food and your hookah, and all of a sudden you just see people dropping out the air. It's wild. And I was enamored for like 10 minutes because you saw some people who were coming down and it looked very calm and controlled, and then you saw other people, it's like, who were just smacking the ground. I'm like, oh man, is this normal? Is this what you should be doing? Is this a tandem jump? Is there somebody with you and guiding you, or they just got fools just jumping out the plane? Because my philosophy is I am never going skydiving
Yeah.
unless there's an issue with the plane. I am not going to jump out of a perfectly good plane just to skydive. That's not going to happen. It's not for me. If there's an issue with the plane, they're like, look, we got about 5 minutes to get out of here. Here's your chute. All right, I'll be the third one at the door.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna let somebody else go first. I'm like, I got to make sure this thing works. See what you're doing. See what you did wrong, so I can correct it on my way down. But I'm not jumping
Yeah.
on a perfectly good plane,
You
man.
just ain't gonna intentionally be like, let me just go try this out real quick.
Nah,
You
no,
know,
there's no need, man.
some people
I'm
stay
a thrill seeker in
exhilarated.
other areas of life. I don't need to check that box off.
Yeah, that's one of those things, man. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. That goes left real quick.
Yeah, yeah, that can be pretty unforgiving, man. So I'm not, I'm not messing around with that one.
Yeah,
But
I like a
man,
good lesson. I like a good lesson learned, and be able to learn from the lesson. I don't want that to be my last lesson. I'm with you on that.
now I got no issues learning from others, man. Sometimes, you can learn from others' mistakes and you take that same lesson without having to experience it. So that's what tall man's gonna ride with, man.
No, I hear you.
I'm
I
gonna
hear
learn
you.
vicariously through someone else.
And I respect that. I respect that. I respect that.
So what else you got over there, man?
And just looking at like you say, man, this social media is crazy, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just that, you know, you think about, I just keep thinking about, you know, just of how, you know, just being a black man now, you know, I've been, like I said, reflecting, right? And thinking about like that slap we've been talking about, talk about being a father and, you know, folks coming and challenging your character. You know, it kind of shows how, you know, how mindful of or how controlled, right? And so it's been on my mind. Maybe
Yeah,
want to ask, like, how you have to control your emotions, right? We've been talking about cuffing season. We've been talking about changes of seasons. We've been talking about people's lives, people's journeys, and just again, it just starts making you think of like, all right, well, can I be my true self, right? Can I be my true self without someone judging, knowing that people are going to judge
yep,
you know, and it makes you start thinking, what is this action about to do? So that's you know that's kind of where that mind's been. And I can see just when someone just takes a picture of how it can be interpreted in so many different you know different ways.
yeah, because I mean, when people take pictures and put things out, and you don't have all the context behind it, it becomes your perception
Yeah.
of what you see. And I mean, even with a text message, I mean, text messages are great because I mean, they're quick ways to communicate. Because you can multitask and you can get your point across. But again, it leaves things up for perception
Always
because
everything.
you can read one statement and totally take it a different way and be in your feelings about something or have the wrong understanding about something just because of how you perceive what that other individual was saying. So, I mean, social media, I mean, everybody puts the best foot forward. I mean, social media is nothing but our highlight reels
Hmm.
because we're
Yeah.
putting the best of us, out there. And some people get caught up in the best of others and they start to feel a certain way about, their situation. And it's like, man, your only competition is staring right back at you in the mirror.
Yeah. Right.
You can't, sit here and, compare yourself and your worth to, other people. But I mean, so often, that's what we do. And that's why, I try to limit my time on there. I try to pop on there to see what's going on and, stay current because like, you know, some people get like their news and all the updates from social media. So, I mean, it is, relevant stuff out there. And, social media is a quick way. It's like a text message to, spread the word of, what's going on or what's happening. But, I don't get caught up in it and live in it.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
you
facts.
know, I hop on, hop off, I let folks know that, I'm still alive, still in good health. And, then I crawl back under my rock with a hookah and relax. But
No, I feel you. I
I,
feel you.
I, I think with like the metaverse and all this stuff, I mean, I think we're just really seeing the tip of the iceberg, when it comes to social media. As you look at, how long social media has been around, social media is still relatively young, when you compare that to, other forms of media. So, I mean, it's only going to get bigger and, more challenging, as time goes on.
Yeah. No, that's true. No, that's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, that makes you think, man. But also, hey, I know we talk about new shows and seasons that have been coming out, right? So
Yeah.
I've I don't know you seen Atlanta, the new Atlanta?
Oh man, Atlanta is on my list. I'm probably going to watch Atlanta hopefully to tomorrow. So I want to catch at least the first two because the first one, man, I was backed up on some other stuff, but it's at the top of my list though, man. I need to see it. I've been waiting so long to see it, so I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah,
without giving me too much. Are you impressed with what they came back with thus far?
man, Danny Glover, I hats off to him. That first episode, I was just sitting there like, is this Atlanta? I'm confused, like just confused, right? Lost the whole time just trying to figure it out. But that shit was dope. That first episode is dope. For a minute, you're thinking you're not even watching Atlanta, right? You're thinking like I'm just watching maybe the wrong show uploaded. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened. Maybe they made a technical difficulties or something. But
Yeah.
no, that show right there, that first episode was like, all right, gotta watch the second episode. Like that was too much of a cliffhanger what they did, but that shit was dope.
Oh man. Well, you have me on record. I'm gonna catch the first show and the second show. So next week we can definitely go in depth with it because I got a dinner tonight. So I'll be lying to you if I was like, yeah, tonight I'm gonna catch it. But tomorrow is wide open. You know, I got to get on it.
Yeah, no, it was dope. I think the writing on that show, and just like I said, just give you a little snippet of it. It's like the first episode. It's a real life story. The first episode, like it's when you look at it, it's a real life story. It really happened out here, and it's crazy that you know what I'm saying, just the way it played out, because it just had me be like,
Mm.
what? What's about to happen next, right? And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
I actually seen an article of what it was written after, and that was crazy.
Oh man, I
That was
definitely
crazy.
got to check it out because I got caught up in. Have you heard about the show called Swagger?
I'm not.
Oh man, so Swagger is out there. I was about to mention, who it, the network it was on, but they haven't sent a check over yet. So everyone is smart enough in this digital age to Google and find out where Swagger is. But Swagger is loosely based off the story of Kevin Durant, and it talks a lot about like AAU basketball and some of the challenges that were presented in that light. But
Yeah.
it's a solid story. Supposed to be based in Sea Pleasant, Maryland, even though my pops lived in Sea Pleasant, so I'm like, all right, I know this isn't Sea Pleasant, it gives you a little Berry Farmsness, it definitely gives you the DMV flair, with the music in the background and how they talk. But I was like, nah, that's definitely not Sea Pleasant. Shout out to Fernleaf Avenue, Sea Pleasant Drive, Gold Leaf Avenue, Oak Crest Elementary, but the show was good, man. I mean, it pulls you in
Yeah.
because
Okay.
just hearing the storyline and like the similarities between Kevin Durant and the middle school and how prep schools were trying to get kids and how AAU coaches were getting deals for shoes and equipment and travel expenses and things of that nature. It put things in perspective, and it was the timing of it was crazy because small man, he's now playing organized basketball, and a couple of AAU teams. Looking at him, he just got picked up by an AAU team. So just everything that we've kind of heard about, you know, basketball and PG, because they had other documentary or something in the water that talked about all the ball players that came out of PG.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was them kind of, telling their stories and, shining a light on, some of the stars we've had. But now this is an actual series of, you watching, individuals go through the process and go through the motions. So it's definitely good. And when I got to tell you that, we're like 6 or 7 episodes deep now into it. So that's
Mm.
why I haven't caught up on Atlanta yet, because, Swagger just dominated the TV, for
All
the
right.
last couple of days. But
All right.
definitely worth checking out, though.
All right. Check that out. It's on my list. Noted. Noted.
So you got anything else before we get out of here?
How much, man? Just what's not happening, right? What's not happening. You got some festivals coming up. Like I said, it's changing the seasons. So you got some festivals coming up. You got some nice after parties going on. So it's It's a lot going on. The DMV is about to be live. It's about to be a live little season we're about to go through. So, we're on the tail end of obviously of this pandemic. They're talking about some more surges coming through, but it's life now, right? It's just trying to figure out how to maneuver through it. You know what I'm saying? You can't hold me down, so we'll be all right. Figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, 2 years into it, man. I think folks are starting to, and no way am I, downplaying, what has happened and individuals that have lost their lives. But I
Don't
think
forget that.
we've learned a lot. Folks have learned how to move, and it's something we're starting to learn to live with. I
Yeah.
know, and we joke about it all the time. And I had left the house, headed to work. I was like, oh man, I left my mask. I had to double
Yeah.
back because you can't even get in the building to get a mask without having a mask. And I wasn't gonna be that guy in the parking lot sitting here, early in the morning trying to call people like, hey, can you bring me a mask outside, man? So I doubled back and went and grabbed the mask and threw a couple extra ones in the glove compartment because I mean a mask, it is what it is, man. You gotta roll with it. But you're right. They're talking about more surges, more variants, and things of that nature, and more booster shots. I mean, it's almost sounded like it's about to be like the flu. Where every year, you gotta have the option of, hey, you want the shot, you don't want the shot. And we'll see. Because even with travel, I mean, countries are letting up like, hey, look, I mean, if you already got the vax, you don't need to take a PCR test. You don't have to quarantine, different things. So
Yeah.
the world is definitely opening back up, man. Definitely.
It is. It is. And people figuring it out, right? That's what we do. We figure it out. You gotta adapt.
Exactly. So what you got planned for the weekend?
Ah, preparing for the big 1-year-old birthday party. You know what I'm saying? It's
Oh man.
preparing for that. But just chilling.
Okay.
You know, just enjoying the family time and getting out, seeing some folks, saying what's up, and that's it, man. Like I say, stuff's always cooking, stuff's always brewing. So we're gonna definitely just give a shout out to my guy, Chef Rosen. So
Okay.
him and we've been in the kitchen, discussing some things coming up. So and yeah, man, just kicking it.
Man, I like it. I like it. So now I gotta ask you for the 1 year old birthday party because it is always the dilemma of is this party for the 1 year old or is it for the adults or are you doing a combination? 'Cause I've been to some 1 year old birthday parties where I didn't even know that there were kids in the room.
And
And I've been to
yeah,
others where it's like, okay, it's kind of too kiddie,
yeah.
so if you can give us a little insight as to, kind of what you all have cooking up, man.
Hey man, that's all we're gonna do is just cook. You know what I'm saying? We chilling. We family coming through, some friends. It seemed like the pandemic. You got a few pandemic babies out here, so we just gonna be we're just gonna be kicking it. It's gonna be a combination with some you know a good time. It's gonna be a good time. So we're gonna kind of show her how our folks do it. She gonna be like, oh,
Okay.
I got some dope parents. So she gonna be cool.
Okay. Okay. I like it. Well, on this side, not too much going on. We got no out of town guests, in town this weekend. So this weekend will be, a little more chill. Probably just do some stuff around the house. Got to move some furniture.
Yeah.
Got to shift some couches from upstairs to downstairs, and got to run to the store to take back this converter. That doesn't work. It's over here they got 220 volts.
Yeah.
States.
True.
We rock off that 110.
Yeah.
So gotta do that to get some more things plugged up. But other than that, just taking it day by day. Ramadan starts here this weekend. So everything's
Okay.
about to shift with regards to, individuals fasting and, stuff going on at night and, all the events and holidays that come along with that. So, even in the office, we get prepared for Ramadan. So I'm sure, by the time we talk next week, I'll be able to give some insight into, the Ramadan experience in the Middle East. I'll give my weekly updates along with the weather forecast.
Okay.
Hey, well, before we head out of here, shout out again to Shisha the Youth for sponsoring us. Don't forget you can follow them on IG. You can check us out on Twitter at In the Pod. In the Bowl. You can, follow us on there. Let us know, flavors, brands, blends, anything that we may have said in this conversation that sparked your interest or you agree with or disagree with, let us know. We have no problem interacting and talking. As we've always said, we're two highly opinionated individuals, but we also respect the opinions of others. So if you got something to say it.
Let your voice be heard. Say it.
Indeed. And last but not least, always don't forget to keep your hookahs clean. After every use, wash them out so that way your hookah is all set for your next session. Until then, we'll catch you next week.
Hustle 5 Ways Radio.